Pam Lawson enjoys the remoteness of living on an island. But when tragedy looms, that remote...
Howard Wood Sr. is one of the immortals of Manitoba curling, skipping teams to 4 provincial titles. Ken Watson would match Wood with 4 of his own. Jeff Stoughton began his road to immortality in Brandon in 1991 when he swept the field to win his first Manitoba title. Stoughton was back in Brandon 5 years later and back on top. And he'd carry this success all the way to a world championship. Last year in Portage, Stoughton was unbeatable once again. 8 straight wins and a 3rd Manitoba title, followed by a 2nd Brier Championship. A new century begins and Stoughton is back in Brandon, but Don Spriggs wants to place his name in the history books as well. The veteran curler has never been this close to a Manitoba championship, and he knows better than the rest, living legends are never easy to beat. One of these 2 will be the champion of the Safeway Select and earn the right to wear the Purple Heart for Manitoba at the Brier.
This is the 2000 Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championship live on Global. Brought to you by Canada Safeway. Select premium quality.
Well, this morning you saw it on Global, the B-side final, Jeff Stoughton against Murray Warren. And it was a very, very close game. It came down to last rock in the 10th end. Jeff Stoughton making the draw for victory, 4-3, to get to the championship final against Don Spriggs this afternoon. Good afternoon, Manitoba. Welcome back to Brandon's Keystone Center and the championship final of this 2000 Safeway Select Provincial Men's Curling Championship. Once again, joining us, Kathy Gauthier. And Kathy, for Jeff Stoughton, everything seems to be lined up in his favor. He played this morning and won. He's playing the same rocks he played this morning. He beat Don Spriggs last night. He's a 3-time champion. Any reason for him to worry?
Well, the only thing he has to worry about is 4 other players, and they're out here thinking the same thing. But Jeff is this close to repeating. He is the Manitoba and Canadian champion. They are getting on a roll. They lost to Vic, and they've seemed to have caught a backdraft since that, and it's just pulling them along. The only thing stopping Jeff from winning is Jeff himself.
Don Finkbeiner played in 4 Manitoba Championship and won a Manitoba Championship. Don Spriggs is trying for his first. Last night he had Jeff Stoughton down 4-0 after 2 ends and let it get away. What are his thoughts?
Well, yeah, he let him off the hook last night, too, but he had time to reflect on that game. He's had the morning off, maybe time to get a little nervous, too. But I think, you know what, it's good for him to sit back and relax a little bit here. If he can get through the first couple of ends and sort of get into the game, he should be okay. He knows that Jeff is the favorite in this game, and everybody's expecting Stoughton to win on this thing. So the heat's really off him if he looks at it from that perspective. So I think he should be okay in that. If he can get through a few ends there, relax, and get into his game, and go for it. He's got nothing to lose.
Jeff Stoughton's looking for his 4th Manitoba Championship. Don Spriggs, his first. We'll find out who wins in about 2.5 hours' time. We'll be back with the first end right after this.
Granny's Manitoba poultry hits the spot with every mouthful. Imagine the warm aroma of a Granny's turkey fresh out of the oven. As its sweet smell wafts through the house, it takes you back to family celebrations of days gone by. At Granny's, we're dedicated to making your family gatherings memorable year after year. Granny's Poultry, proudly Manitoba's only turkey processor.
Farm fresh taste and country goodness, Granny's.
It's $1 million twice a week. It's a game we call our own. Western 649. Here at home.
Play
Western 649 at any Manitoba Lottery ticket center.
Come on. Western 649, get a grin from ear to ear.
Okay, smile.
And remember this, my friend, the buck stop here, buck stop here.
Well, what'll it be, sweetheart?
Let me guess. A nice cold Pepsi. I wouldn't want to hear one of those crazy voices of yours, huh?
Honey, you ain't heard nothing yet. Hit it, fellas.
Kevin, get some sleep.
I can't.
Don't do this to yourself.
It's all my fault. I was going too fast. I destroyed a family.
I know.
My dad says he's investing in Crocus for my future. I think my dad's pretty smart.
Very smart, because when you look at the tax savings, the returns, and the long-term jobs, they all add up to Crocus.
I don't want to see our kids forced to leave this province, so I'm investing in Crocus again.
Want to know more? Call Crocus or see your financial advisor or credit union.
It worked for me, so I'm sure it can work for you.
As morning breaks in communities all across Canada, Robbins helps you start your day with our special blend coffee.
A full-bodied brew, guaranteed fresh on the first taste, or we'll replace it.
And Robbins mealtime combos and freshly prepared subs are welcome anytime.
At work or at play.
Part of your community. You always get a break at Robbins.
One of the reasons these two teams have gotten to this point is that they've been able to read the ice.
Well, they have, and it certainly is challenging. It does move a lot from the inside out. We see it going about 3.5 feet. The outside in is more tricky. It goes slowly, but it does break hard at the end. We've seen 3.5 to even 4 feet as it dies. 24 seconds since Wednesday, which really has allowed skips to put the rock where they want it.
Reading the Ice is brought to you by Western 649, our own 649 game. And by Chicken Chef Family Restaurants. Real quality, real value, real selection. Made in Manitoba.
And this 2000 final is underway. Don Spriggs won the coin toss. He'll have the hammer in the first end. Doug Armstrong delivers the first rock of this game, and we can tell you that that rock is different than the one he threw in the B-side final this morning.
Well, it is. One of the advantages to having a reduced field is that this morning both teams were allowed to choose the stones. Jeff had red rocks because he was at the top of the draw, and Murray Warren had yellow stones. So in choosing what they felt was the best set, they discovered halfway through the game that we were concerned because Doug seemed to be hitting and rolling out quite a bit. They did discover that they didn't feel that his set was matched, and so they have changed his set for this game.
And Don Spriggs preferring to play with the set used by Murray Warren this afternoon. He's played with these rocks before and has had good success, and so he decided, why not stick with them?
Well, in some ways, you know, you could play psychological games. Jeff was red. He had thrown red. There's the confidence there. What Don Spriggs could have done is chosen red rocks, not necessarily those ones, but any ones to sort of force Jeff to yellow. But I think from Don Spriggs' point of view, he liked the stones, he liked the color, and he was just more worried about what he was throwing versus what the Stoughton team would throw.
Yep. And it is psychological, but I know that when Jeff Stoughton moved to the B side of the championship round, it was the first time he really had to play with yellow rocks, and he wasn't all that happy about it.
Well, it is. It's those little things that make a difference, and for Jeff, red has always been his color of success, so I'm sure he's pretty happy to be throwing red this afternoon.
See how Stoughton got through the A side qualifier, and then on the B side of the championship round, he moved on after that loss to Vic Peters, and this morning defeated Murray Warren 4-3, and of course last night in a terrific game defeated Don Spriggs 11-6.
And not surprising to see this kind of end. We do know from talking to Jeff that his goal was to play a very conservative first end. Don Spriggs very comfortable to go with that, particularly for Don and his team sitting in a hotel room this morning. You know, you get the nerves building up. You really do want to get an end and everybody have a chance to get those first 2 stones sort of out of the way and get back into the groove before you have to make the angle double raise for one.
Yeah, you want to get rid of the butterflies as soon as possible and just throw a few easy shots rather than complicated things at the start. And nothing worse than giving up a big end in the first end. We've seen that before historically in some provincial finals where you get a 3 or a 4 cracked against you right off the bat, and then all of a sudden it's a wild game you're into.
Taking a look at Spriggs second, Dale Mickey.
Voted All-Star second yesterday.
Insurance broker with Pallister Insurance in Portage.
No. Up. Clean. Up. Drop.
So far in this first end, very neat and tidy. Just getting a feel for the ice.
Gary Vandenberg, of course, a longtime member of the Jeff Stoughton team and former world champion.
Good. Okay, Gary. Throws. Good, Gary. Shot. Shots. Wow, clean. Great. Wow. Drop.
And Mickey gets the nose hit.
Yeah.
And we just keep exchanging rocks.
And so they're running them up and down. And one of the other advantages is that in the game yesterday afternoon, both skips got into a little bit of time concern, not necessarily difficulty, but it was getting to that point. And I think both of them are planning on playing pretty hard later on. And to conserve a bit of time, this is also an advantage.
Whoa. Yep. 3. Whoa. Yep. Shot, John.
Bit of a breath in the hack from Dean Moxham, who we saw yesterday was a very, very solid player.
Come on. Clean. Just clean. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Well, I think it's safe to say they know how that side of the ice runs.
So no rollouts for anybody getting a chance to even do a draw here. Probably have to wait till the next end.
Jonathan Meade joined the Stoughton team last year, and it was a combination that clicked.
And we've heard him talking to Jeff. He's very, very positive to the team all the time. If you had a chance to catch this morning's game, there was a situation where there were a number of rocks in play. They were thinking about strategy. The front end, Gary Vandenberg was talking about, well, what if, let's play this so that, you know, we might get a blank out of it. And Jonathan was like, what are you, crazy? There's a chance for 2 or 3. So he's very optimistic. He's very supportive and always looking to really capture the abilities of the team.
Okay. Nice roll.
Yeah, actually, if you're a young player out there and you want to learn how to play third, there isn't a better person in the entire game than Jonathan Meade. He's got the unbelievable ability, of course, but as a team man, he's great.
The attitude is
he's
really
loose out there. He's charismatic. He loves the crowds, the limelight, and that kind of thing too. He's relaxed and yet focused. He's just a joy to watch. And if you are, thirds can really destroy a skip if they're not careful. They can really destroy their confidence, and we've seen examples of that. But Jonathan is as good a third as you'll ever see in the game.
Clean. Whoa. Yep.
So a chance for Jeff also to get some of the butterflies back in control with a wide open hit.
That's not going anywhere. Good.
I think Don Spriggs pretty happy the way that the sand is going too. For himself, a chance to verify actually physically by being in the building that the ice is running very similar to how it has been. And to keep things really simple for himself in the first hand.
Yeah, it's control.
Don Spriggs, 41 years old. This is his 13th Provincial Championship.
Yep. And we should actually acknowledge the teams that allow us to hear what they have to say by agreeing to wear microphones. Certainly it adds so much more to what we could say by having them bring to you their thoughts and ideas.
But not too much to say from either skip in this end because there really isn't much to talk about.
Same.
In the off season, Jeff, a water ski fanatic, actually wound up in the States 1 year, offered a scholarship.
Yep. Just clean. Yep. Hard. Hard. Right up. Right
Wants
up.
to make sure
right
he
up.
sticks
Hey,
around
wait.
so that the blank is not just wide
Jeff.
open for Don Spriggs.
Yep.
Yeah, he looked a little tight on that last one, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Jeff suggesting that Don Spriggs might have been a little bit tight on the last one, and I think his thought process is that if he is on this one as well, likely he may just stick for a point.
Yep. Yep.
Sounds like he is inside. They're on it immediately.
Hard. Hard.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to hit it on the nose.
Right up. Right up. Hard, Dean. And this one will stick around. So Don Spriggs playing for the blank, takes one in the first end, and gives up control of the hammer to the defending champion.
Come for the flavor, come for the taste, stay for the good times, you know the place. We'll treat you special, we'll treat you right. You're the reason Chicken Chef is cooking something good tonight. Come on out, come on in to Chicken Chef. We're cooking something good for you. Come on in to Chicken Chef. We're cooking up something good for you.
Curling brooms were once like this, but times change, things get better. Now a broom is like this.
The same is true with cell phones. They used to be like this. Now it's the Motorola V phone.
No one knows more about cell phones than Elite Communications, your MTS Mobility Center.
Our friendly experts can tell you all about the V phone.
And MTS Mobility's lowest rates ever.
Elite Communications, your MTS Mobility Center.
You really sweep well, Don.
Above and beyond the call.
The Safeway Select is brought to you in part by Elite Communications, above and beyond the call for your cellular, paging, and two-way radio needs. And by the Prairie Ford dealers, it's always been Ford.
Whoa! This is great!
What?
This! Have you ever seen so many beautiful vehicles? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at that one!
Oh, they're very nice. Now, have you thought about how we're gonna get across?
We could run!
Need I remind you of what happened to Uncle Ernie?
Okay, really bad idea.
We could tunnel.
Well, you really are more than just a furry face. After you, monsieur.
Hey, there's no need to swear. We're swearing.
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries presents one sweetheart of a sale just in time for Valentine's Day. Over 150 gorgeous Lazy Boy chairs on display and priced as low as $379. Come in today and find your true love.
Now at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, you can save on more than 1,000 custom order fabrics, which means our furniture can adapt to any surrounding, not to mention any budget.
Manitoba final featured Doug Armour and Dave Smith, and it would be the St. Vital skip that would come out on top in this one, with help from Pete Nichols, Scott Grant, and Charlie Salina. Smith defeated Armour in the final to win his first Manitoba championship.
Champions is brought to you by Crocus Investment Fund, bringing your investments home, and by Wellington West Capital. Life is good.
Well, and Dave, a really good player as a skip, and he's really had his success, I think, at third, even though he won the province as a skip.
He was named the All-Star third of the select.
Makes a lot of shots, and certainly if you need somebody to go in there and rattle a bunch of rocks around, there's very few that can throw them as hard and as accurate as he can.
Good.
So that was a really interesting first stand in a strange sort of way with Spriggs sticking around and not rolling out. That's exactly what Stoughton wanted. You want to let force the other guy to take one. So now you've got last rock, and you go for the old theory. Give up one and take two is what you're going for if you've got control. And he's now forced Spriggs. Spriggs takes the one. Now Stoughton's got the advantage.
Well, and a mistake on Spriggs' first rock. Rick Blight is supposed to be throwing a guard, but he's a little bit heavy, and what you need to make sure is if that rock is not a guard, it's completely in the house. By being half in and half out, Jeff could hit it, and the perfect shot by Doug Armstrong meant that they have a really tight guard that Don Spriggs could not make a play at because it is within the free guard zone.
But Rick Blight just there making amends?
Yeah, he made a really nice shot.
That's a great shot.
Back. And actually, for him to have a rock half in and half out, that's more of a sweeping error than an error on his part.
The only thing about a shot like this, from Spriggs' point of view, to be able to bury it, you've got to go behind the tee line like he did.
Yes.
That's a perfect shot, which means the advantage is to Stout because it's such a short guard. Now Stoughton's splitting to lie two here, second and third. So actually, I'm not sure if I agree with Spriggs. I thought he might maybe play the front one and stick on the nose there.
But he couldn't. It's in the free guard zone.
Oh, right.
Whoa! Since the 70s, they've changed the rules.
Nabbed on a technicality.
And we can see that the rocks for Doug Armstrong are finishing better than they did
That was pretty aggressive.
in the B side final.
Ooh, that was a rocket.
Now you're right, Joe. That was for Armstrong. He struggled with his draws in the last game, so that was a great shot.
Don Spriggs looking for second man Dale Mickey to just come down on top of the rock that Doug Armstrong has just thrown.
What?
The crowd into this game a little bit more. Certainly we've had really decent-sized crowds for sure in this building. Very polite audience. They would never cheer for misses, but they certainly aren't yelling and screaming. If you remember or you saw last night's game, Jonathan Meade made a really great shot. And in fact, asked the crowd what else he had to do to get clapped.
Well, I don't think they recognized what a good shot it was. It was actually a different shot, but you're right.
I think they were also watching Murray Warren's game.
Just like Jonathan, move out of the way. We can't see Murray.
It's a little heavy on this, yes.
It's all right. Shot, Gary.
But he moves it around. Good shot.
Sorry, Gary. No hits, not bad. It's all right. As long as we get past the center, that's okay too, but sit here, it's no good. Probably not bad for now. Control.
Don Spriggs concerned about where this rock might wind up. He's suggesting that if they roll just a little bit, it does give Jeff a relatively simple shot to make the double.
Wow.
and he wants to prevent that. So they either want a nose or a roll behind the guard completely.
Whoa! Good.
Don Spriggs, line 2.
Hard. Hey!
Oh, really tight on this one.
Whoa!
Of course,
I
then
may go for the
inside
double.
makes the double.
Yeah.
Option B.
But it just
Okay, good. Okay, Gary.
half and half, not enough.
No, weight was good.
Heard Jonathan Mee telling Gary Vandenberg the weight was good.
Didn't do much, eh?
Top 4.
So a chance for Don Spriggs' team to go a little bit more aggressive and to put some pressure on Jeff. It's an extremely tight guard to go around.
Top
Lots of
4.
room.
We're up.
Line's good. Yep.
Come on, Nat.
Gotta be there. Come on.
Hurry. Hard.
Come on, you got great line.
As he got the weight. Just a little light.
No, it's on the guard. If it gets to the guard.
A little bit extra out there.
Still blocks it off a bit for him.
Sure it does. Without last rock, if you're not going to make it perfectly, that's far better than going through.
Like bumping it up, or? His is still pretty buried, though. You like straight draw? Whatever you like, Jeff. If you like the split, that's fine.
Looking at the split, or
Play
maybe even
bumper.
clearing the front.
Bump's not bad. Bumper on this.
Well, what he wants to do is
Hack. Hack weight. Might put him in, but
like to hit this
open it
rock,
up. Hack weight.
spread it out over here, but sort of glance this one into the house a bit and kill his shooter. So
The
maybe-
reason they've gone with hack is that what he's hoping to do is to move the yellow one to the granny's chicken. And by doing so, he'll also push his own redstone in the house. So he'll open up the front as well as lie 2 if he makes this perfectly.
Whoa! Watch the roll, Gary.
Great shot. Look at this. Wow.
That's a great shot.
Oh, that's a sensational shot. Really, that's just an amazing shot.
And now a lot for Don
Wow.
Spriggs to worry about.
That
Well,
that
there
is
is.
so good.
Even though you're lying 1, if this curls a little bit more, he doesn't have a whole lot, but he hits it absolutely perfect so that not only does he get a little piece of the red one to move it in, but his shooter rolls and it does catch a piece.
Brilliant.
So there are 3 Stoughton stones in play. Very, very good shot.
Yeah.
Now Dean mocks him.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
Gets the nose hit, and that rock is outside of the rings.
See, that one of Jonathan's, it just sets this up. Although it's a difficult situation still in a way, but the potential.
Is this thing here for a reason? Yeah. Back 12 at least. What was that? That was almost bump, eh?
Well, we've seen it curl really nice in here. So what they're saying is that with backline weight, he can get by the guard and still have it curl enough to tap the Spriggs stone that is shot right now out of play.
Line's perfect. Yep.
And stay behind that red type.
Whoa, whoa,
well, it was a guard,
yes!
but the one top of the house.
Whoa! Hard! Hard! Whoa! Hard! Right up! Right up! Whoa! 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 Yep.
Oh, look at this.
Two great shots by Jonathan
Oh,
Meade.
again, sensational. What can you say? Jonathan Meade, this is
Came
why
to
he's one of
play.
the
Good luck,
greats. What a great shot. It's in a perfect line,
John.
too.
Thank you.
That's control.
Watch how close he's going to get to this guard. He's yelling, whoa. Jeff, of course, can see the line really breaking and doesn't want to take chances. Jonathan's yelling, whoa, like he's got 6 feet to get by. Not only does he remove the stone or push it back, but he rolls behind
Look at the
perfectly.
position. Perfect shot. Great angle on that. Great camera angle on that one.
And don't forget that that rock at the top of the house is also on, and it is Stoughton's.
So for Don Spriggs, he has to be very careful where he places a stone.
Well, the danger, true, as you say,
stuff?
like if he gets a little inside, he raises them in for 3. If he gets outside, leaves it in the open, Jeff can hit and roll in behind again to line 4 in the line.
Yep. Stop. Close. Close. Yep.
Oh, it started to snap. Did they get on it?
To go. He's on the front, I think.
Well, and as we talked about in reading the ice, it's the ability to anticipate that makes the difference.
But that was a long way out and then just snapped on them. You're right, you should maybe keep it clean most of the way down. Boy, like the weight was good. Now he's in a pot full of trouble here.
That handle just went sideways. Yeah. That's good. Just keep it on this side of the line? Even here, eh? I like that. He might snuggle in there, though. To the back one? I was thinking if we go here, how's he draw? He can't draw.
Yeah, okay. I guess you could just come off the back, but let him play that, eh?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's guard the double. Give him something up top.
It's finishing, eh? You agree?
Well, with back ring, it's not, but...
Okay. Okay.
So he just likes to place.
Yeah.
Is that what we want, top 8?
Yeah, just biting the top 8's good.
Okay. We don't want to leave them off and in.
No, just
like to play it in here. To be
top
able to,
8.
To be able to cut
just
that
biting
draw.
the top 8 would be good.
He just wants to prevent the draw for Spriggs not being able to come around there. He may set up some sort of double combination, which is fine. His main goal is to get deuce out of here for sure.
Touching 4 anyway.
And at this point, Don Spriggs would be happy to give Jeff Stoughton just 2.
Precisely, yeah.
Preferably on the broom side.
Line's real good.
Weight's the key
Line's
factor
real good.
here. They don't want to
Touch
come
8.
in too far.
How much deeper?
Line's good. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sit.
Well, this is more
No,
than top
Doug,
8.
no.
No, he's coming too far.
Sit.
Okay.
Well, decision time here for Spriggs.
How was that?
A freeze has to be made.
2-7?
If he's looking at a draw, it's got to be a perfect freeze. See what they say.
Well, they can just, it's just going to go out, isn't it? If you can get it welded in there, you're okay. But tick off, then it's.
If we do this.
Well, what about this?
It's good. Well,
why not?
I got a squeak then.
Only with down weight. Just need to get our shooter to there.
Yeah, but with down weight, if we nose it, then he's got easy shot, and we're only going to get rid of 2.
Well, getting rid of 2 is all right, Don, at this point.
Well, I mean, we're only going to get rid of 1. I think we got to do this. Or sit one right in there. We will one on the corner here. Yeah, that's got to be perfect, eh?
Well, you can put it, if you can weld it on this one, you're okay.
Yeah. If we come to half of this and push it back 6 inches, we're no good, are we?
Well, we're not great because I can pick it out the other side. It's got a lot of room.
Put it right under here.
I think you do this, but then, or we try to take our luck and see what we get out of this with maybe the double and flop.
Man, we got to squeak the guard though.
Well, it'll bend. You know it's bending. Look at this draw. If you throw out here with control weight.
How much air we got there, Rick? Yeah. Now we got to do this, Dean.
That's shots there, Donnie.
Dean's got to be careful here. He's not throwing the rock.
I agree.
Donnie's a little uptight about this, and Dean has to be careful not to decide on the shot he'd rather throw than Don. Don doesn't want to throw the hit.
No, it doesn't. You're going to hit it
no,
on
but if we
you're going to hit it on the 4 rock if you get what you
any
want.
on that side.
Yeah.
I think this is still the shot.
You got to go with that.
I agree too.
Definitely.
Sure. What are we playing to, though? We playing to this one or this one?
I think this one here.
Okay.
Oh, crunch time. Well, he's just trying to get a rock into here. if he actually hits this rock, moves it back a little bit there, fine. But boy, he just would like to weld it in there and take his chances that Jeff can't spin it out somehow. Jeff's the master trying to get something like that out. So this is really crunch time. If he's heavy and rolls into the open, it's a hit for 5. If he's light, and oh man, he's up against it right now. Pressure really on.
And certainly in terms of body language and comfort zone, you know, Dean right away talked about hitting, but you could see that from Don Spriggs' comfort zone all along, he did not feel comfortable with that and felt as long as he was in front of those stones or tapped one of them back, it was his best shot.
He's got a lot of weight here.
He's got lots. He's got very, very slight rotation on his handle.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hit and go into the outside. Oh, he's not going to come up enough.
Gonna bounce off by itself.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh, disaster.
Well, you can do the math at home.
2, sliding 2 for sure.
Cody laying 4. Throw it sweeping and stop in front of everything.
Line 2 or 3.
Yeah, I guess we have to hit it, eh?
And it's a
I don't
hit for 5.
If we lose one of them, it's not a big deal. Play nice. Play nice.
What do you got? Almost all?
Just all. Bit less, John. No.
Yeah,
you think
you're
so,
not going to
Les?
whiff with that.
No.
You know what? This is a nerve-wracking shot for Stoughton. Believe it or not, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, half an inch more, and we're laying 4.
It's actually good that he's sort of joking around
That's
about
close.
it. Anyway.
It's close.
All set up by the brilliant shooting of Jonathan Meade.
Just nice throw, guys. Not too hard.
Final rock of the second end for Jeff Stoughton. This could be for 5.
Oh, he's got it. Great shot.
Count it up. It's 5 in the second end for the defending champion.
Great end, guys. Good end, John. Good boys. Good end.
That's just 2 ends.
Good ends.
And it's time to regroup for Don Spriggs.
Business demands that you do it all, but why do it alone? Get all your business communication solutions from the experts who can help you accomplish more. We're Icon Office Solutions.
Get your tickets for the world's hottest event on ice. The Labatt Brier 2000. The Big Freeze is coming. Call Select a Seat at 1-888-9687-888.
The Safeway Select is brought to you in part by Labatt Light, right out of the ice, and by the Manitoba Pork Council, producing quality pork for Manitobans and consumers around the world.
Did you know? When cooked to perfection, pork will show just a hint of pink. The result? Pork that is not only nourishing and delicious, but tender and juicy. Pork with a hint of pink. It's okay today. Did you know? Trimmed to visible fat, today's pork is lean. So make pork a part of a well-balanced diet. For recipes, call our toll-free line today. And pick pork.
Jerry Little of Midtown Ford has always been a proud supporter of curling in Manitoba. He loves the teamwork, the same teamwork he brings to his dealership.
Working late tonight, Dennis?
Oh, just checking out some new angles, Jer.
That's the old team spirit.
Everyone working like a well-oiled machine to help the customer, Jerry thought. Midtown Ford, 750 Pembina Highway. Customers for life.
On the button.
Welcome back to Brandon and Global's coverage of the 2000 Safeway Select Provincial Men's Curling Championship. Jeff Stoughton with 5 in the second end.
Wow.
To take command of this championship final 5-1. But for Don Spriggs, he only has to look back to just last night when he had a 4-0 lead on Jeff Stoughton after 2 ends, and Jeff Stoughton battled back to win that game. So it can be done, but you just can't do it in one end.
Well, and Don certainly has played long enough to know that, and certainly if anybody had said to him, do you want to give up 5? The answer is going to have been no. But if you're going to give up 5, you want to have that happen to you in the first couple of ends. The challenge for Jeff's team is they have to try to maintain that lead, and technically, if Don gets 2 here, he's down 2 points with a whole lot of game. They say it's not over till the fat lady sings. I don't even think she's in her vehicle on the way to the rink yet.
Well, actually, they were talking off camera just now about Dean Moxon was talking about. He says, "Let's just go for 2. Let's not get carried away in that." And, you know, it goes back to that blank in the first end when he didn't roll out. He lost the hammer. And if he blanks the first end, he's got last rock on that end and could have salvaged the end. So what a huge shot that first end was when he didn't roll out.
Okay, Doug, that's good.
Well, certainly they want to generate some offense. Don Spriggs has the corner guard up. Doug Armstrong did put it in the perfect spot, which was the 4-foot, which means that Don Spriggs needs to move those rocks and tap them back. But the fact that there are 2 rocks in play work to his advantage. That's what he needs in play to score 2 or 3.
Also, from a psychological point of view, the reality here is it's Stoughton's game to lose only.
Yes,
like
it is.
The pressure is on Stoughton in a strange sort of way, because if Stoughton, if Stoughton loses this game, everybody's going to say, "Did you ever choke up?" So he has to be careful. We saw this years ago. Mike Riley and Brian Penston were playing, and Riley got a 4 in the first end. And I talked to Mike after, and he went right at Brian right after that. He said, "I'm not going to win 4-0. I've got to go on. The pressure was on us. I got to keep our guys pumped up and go for it." And that's exactly what happened. But as you suggested, Kathy, there's a long way to go.
Hey! Whoa! Yeah! Good.
But on the other side of the coin, who wants to be down 5 to Jeff Stoughton, one of the greatest teams of all time, which can be very discouraging too.
Not 4 ends from now.
Back ring. Back ring.
Again, back ring moves those red rocks back, and if he does throw back ring and connects with about a half of the red one that's in the 8-foot, he will roll behind the guard, achieving 2 purposes.
Back ring.
Wow. Wow. Whoa. Come on. Great. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Actually, he may do all right on this one. That's actually a good shot. Because it sort of tucks in behind that guard. Maybe a little showing.
One or t'other.
There's about a half of the rock showing on the outside.
Well, and they'll be playing Gary Vandenberg really tight on this. I don't think Jeff's too concerned about whether he runs off the guard.
Good shot.
Very nice. Well done.
Nice steady hit. It's not an easy shot. But you're right, you can't get outside on that when you miss it.
Same way, Dale.
For Don Spriggs' team, really important to get 2 back in this end.
A little more. Weight's good.
Come on. Hurry hard.
That's really moving.
Hurry hard.
They may be rolling it a little bit there, do you think?
Whoa.
Well, he needs to stay in the house.
Yes, that's the problem.
Well, we've told you before that Jeff Stoughton and the Keystone Center have been very good to each other. And let's take you back in time to one of Jeff Stoughton's victories in the Manitoba Men's Provincial Championships, and this was 1996 against Dale Duguid, and it's the famous 100% game when Jeff Stoughton made every shot in the book.
It was a shot that I remembered very clearly. It was the first stand. Dale makes a great shot. Jeff comes down and counters with that. And we all kind of looked at each other and thought, you know, the odds of anybody beating this guy on this day were pretty slim. And certainly he did steam on to a 100% game and a victory.
And he scored 4 in that first end.
Yeah, I've never seen any game like that, quite like that. At that level, a guy playing 100%, just absolutely phenomenal.
Set. Draw.
So now just one rock in the rings, that belonging to Don Spriggs, and at this point Don is just looking to hold on to the hammer and try things again in the fourth.
Well, you're right. Right now he's in no position to try and get more than one, so he might as well try and blank it and take his chances the next day.
Clean it. Clean it. Yep. Hard. Good. Nice shot. Wasn't much weight, eh?
The thing you like about Stoughton's team now, even with this kind of a situation, a lot of teams when they get up like this get a little nervous and they stop talking because they know all we can do is blow up, but they're keeping their chatter going just to make sure that everybody's loose and still in the game.
Right up.
Okay. Not sure if they're getting some motion to their stones today, but they certainly, all 4 of the Spriggs team really are finding their rocks are moving much more so than the Stoughton team.
Well, actually, we've seen that with Don on the last rocks on a few occasions where he's clipped the guards when trying some come-around hits. We saw that against Murray Warren yesterday's game on sheet 1 there. We saw that, and we saw a couple other times like that where he tends to roll the rock in a little bit when he's trying to make a tight come-around hit. So they will get things started with their hits.
Same weight.
Same way, Jeff just verifying with his front end that there hasn't been any changes, that things are still as they were.
No.
Jeff playing this very smart too. He wants to make sure, if anything, that he's not light.
That's good, Jeff. Good. Wasn't gonna be light.
Well, and for Don Spriggs, he has 2 options here. One of them is that he could play really hard for 2, and he would be playing the freeze. Yeah. His decision is to play the blank. Looking to hit and stick, and then move on to next hand.
I wanted my foot to be sore before that happened.
Off. Wow.
And Don Spriggs will hit and roll out, giving Jeff Stoughton another chance to get draw weight down.
So Jeff will ideally like to keep things pretty tidy for the next few ends, to say the least. And as things get on and on, the more ends it goes by with no score, for instance, and it's obviously to his advantage, and it gets more discouraging for the Spriggs team.
Well, it does, and you know, Don Spriggs was a little bit heavy, Jeff, even a little bit deeper than he wanted to be. We'll take a look at it again. They have been throwing on 24-second ice. It is a little bit cooler in the building this afternoon than it has been. I think Hans Withrich, the ice maker, just wanting to make sure that the number of fans that are coming in to watch this final won't have an impact on the ice conditions, but that can often make the ice a little bit quicker.
Come on, full house, Doug.
Keep going.
Come on, Doug. Okay.
Well, certainly this would suggest it is quicker because he's not even anywhere near the tee line. So they're probably looking at about a second quicker than it's been, which in many ways could explain why Don Spriggs just sort of bounced off. A second makes a huge difference out here.
Little last, Dean.
Yeah. This is where he wants to hit and roll out too.
Final rock of the third end.
Yep. Quick. Quick.
Is he going to come across? No, he's fine.
No, he's fine.
And so Don Spriggs blanks the third, maintains the hammer, but has a big hole to dig himself out of.
Driving is all about control. Not having maximum control depends on your tires. So how are your tires? Really? So when's the last time you checked? You can't remember. This does nothing for Reg the Rubberman's ego, but Rubber understands. In fact, it's because of your lack of thought about tires that Rubberman is in a constant state of readiness. When a call comes in and there's a tire down, no one reacts faster. Listed in the yellow pages under Mere Tire because there's no listing for super fast, super affordable tire specialist.
It's $1 million twice a week. It's a game we call our own.